I made two comments about the Strait of Hormuz. The first comment is...
Let's talk about the Strait of Hormuz specifically, because I think you mentioned earlier is that Donald Trump was very surprised that they were able to actually close that. And
everyone told him they would do it, and he didn't listen.
Yeah, I mean, and that was something that Professor Morandi had a really interesting insight on one of our live streams. He said, before February 28th, we never, really thought about that a lot, but now after February 28th, we're going to be thinking about that every day of the future. That we have that leverage point. We see the United States with, arguably the largest and most powerful navy in the world, but Iran has been very effective in using speedboats and much smaller vessels to, really put the entire world economy at hostage with that Strait of Hormuz. Do you see, is the United States ever going to be able to stop Iran from that leverage point?
Okay. So before the war started, I made two comments about the Strait of Hormuz. The first comment is, if Iran were to be attacked, the very first thing they would do is close off the Strait of Hormuz, because that is the point of the maximum leverage over the Americans. Okay, that's the first comment. Second comment is, there's absolutely nothing whatsoever the Americans can do about it, right? And we know because of Operation Prosperity Guardian, where due to what was happening in Gaza, the Houthis closed off the Red Sea to international shipping, and told the Israelis, you either stop this genocide in Gaza or we will block off Red Sea shipping. And so in response, the Americans sent this massive naval flotilla to the Red Sea called Operation Prosperity Guardian. And this was like a massive undertaking. And the Americans went and they blew up a lot of mountains and did no damage to the Houthis at all. Right. And the Houthis, by the way, have two things. They have speedboats and they have drones. But it is the nature of asymmetrical warfare that if you are committed and you are cohesive and you are conducting guerrilla warfare, there's very little an empire can do about this. And so what Operation Prosperity Guardian convinced the Iranians is, well, we can easily close off the Strait of Hormuz, and there's absolutely nothing the Americans can do about it. I was watching these YouTube meetings, conferences, where these like 5-star admirals and generals were talking about Operation Prosperity Guardian. And they were saying how they were completely surprised by the versatility, the flexibility, the resilience of the Houthis. They also said, we have absolutely no solution here. We don't know how to deal with this. And the third thing they said is, we'll just keep on doing this, right? So we know you send in these massive warships against an entrenched enemy with drones. There's nothing you can do. You can't actually hurt them, but you don't know what else to do. So you'll just keep on with this strategy, even though even though you know it's not effectual. Okay. And so what this tells me